Well, joining us now is Eli Beer, the president and founder of United Hatzalah. Eli, tell us what the first days of the war were like for your first responders.
So first, talking about the hostages, we're still dealing with United Hatzalah hostages, volunteers who went to help out and save lives. Dolev Yehud and Bar Cooperstein, two volunteers who were actually fighting and saving lives. Dolev left his wife and children in a bomb shelter in Nir Oz, told them they'll be back. He's going to save people's lives. He wore this orange vest and a bag of medical supplies. And when he went out to save people, he was fighting with Hamas terrorists who captured him, and he never saw his wife and children again. A week and a half later, he had a little baby born, and he doesn't even know he had a little baby born, a little baby boy. And that's one. And the second one is Bar Cooperstein. And we're dealing with the volunteers who were killed that same day, two volunteers that were saving lives, Awad, and unfortunately, another volunteer, that I can't mention his name because he was also on the Shin Bet, an incredible volunteer that saved lives together. And they actually died together. An Arab and Jew died that morning, saving people's lives. And these are the first moments of October 7th for us. We stayed there for days after, helping save people, rescue people. Hundreds of people were saved thanks to heroic work of these people who went into the borders of Gaza, into the Yishuvim, into Be'eri, into Kfar Aza, into Ashderot, and saved lives.
It's important to note that you have both Jewish and Arab volunteers who take part in the work of this organization from around the country. You're not only obviously responding to situations of war, but daily crises, daily, emergency calls. And, it's estimated at this point that at least 400,000 Israelis are dealing now with some form of post-traumatic stress disorder following October 7th. We know, of course, that emergency rescue volunteers are grappling with mental health issues as a result of their work. How dire is that situation for your organization at this point?
Well, it's very, very important to deal with any emotional first aid that you need to treat your own people and other people who are surrounding you. And we started working that same day, October 7th, Simchat Torah. We actually send our psychotrauma unit, the Chosed unit of United Hatzalah, to treat our volunteers and to give them the emotional support they need so they don't develop post-traumatic stress in the future. And we see the difference between people who were treated that day and some people said, no, we don't need treatment, we're fine. Everyone needs treatment. We all need help. This is really first aid for the neshama, for the soul. And we're doing with it every day. We also have a new unit that's developing, the psychotrauma dog unit, which is also growing. Incredible results we have with these little cute little dogs that help us with that emotional support.
Right, and I did see that was kind of one of the initiatives providing, aid animals to these volunteers who, we have to remember are continuing to work across the country. And I can't imagine how difficult it must be to continue working when you're dealing with such challenges. How is the organization helping its respondents recover, if that's at all possible?
Well, we had volunteers that were there in the first moments because they live there. They saw the atrocities. They didn't believe when they went out of their homes and they jumped on their ambucycles. These motorcycle ambulances that we give our volunteers, or even small vehicles, they were running to the scene. They didn't think they're going to find hundreds of terrorists in front of them. And when they came, they saw people that were burnt and people that were beheaded and other terrible atrocities that they saw. We realized when we heard on the walkie-talkie, when I was sitting in Jerusalem, and watching the live feed coming into our headquarters, the United Hatzalah headquarters command center, I couldn't believe this thing is real. I thought it was like a Hollywood horror movie. And we right away decided, let's send our psychotrauma psychologists and psychiatrists down south. And they met our volunteers for a 15-minute treatment, which is unbelievable. It's like a special treatment that is learned by United Hatzalah. And we actually helped save their lives by giving them this treatment.
All right. Well, Eli, I'd like to thank you so much for joining us and kind of speaking to us about the ongoing issues that your volunteers are facing. Obviously, like we both mentioned, they're continuing to work across the country, and the hope is that every single volunteer who needs assistance is going to get that assistance when it comes to dealing with the mental health challenges following what they witnessed.
Yes, we're focusing on that, and I really appreciate it, and our hearts are with all the injured soldiers and civilians, and of course with the hostages that many of them are unfortunately people we know.